Someone once told me, well, it wasn't someone, it was a bunch of people. A lot of top YouTube creators have told me, not directly, but like through their YouTube videos, that consistency is very important and you have to create videos because you love making videos, not because of the views or how many views that you can get. Like this is a common thing. Believe me, I've watched hundreds of like YouTube advice videos from top YouTube creators, and consistency is probably one of the number one things that they mention. After that is probably authenticity. But I guess the other big thing is that you really have to love what you do. Now, I find this funny because sometimes, on occasion, you see a YouTuber and this guy or girl hasn't posted in 4 months. And then, like, randomly, they'll put together, like, a decent video and they'll be like, oh, hey, sorry for the update, da da da. And I'm like, if this is your full-time income, if you're making a full-time living off of this, and you say you truly like it, then how come you haven't posted in 4 months? What have you been doing for 4 months? Because that's like if this is your job, what have you been doing for 4 months? Close to nothing. You've probably just been like spending your money or something. So that kind of confuses me. Now, is that always the case? No. In fact, a lot of the times, most YouTubers work really, really hard on their content, and some of them are barely paying the bills. Some of them are working really hard to pay the bills, and you know they're gone. If they are ever gone, they're gone because they're trying to do something else on top of YouTube, like they got offered like a TV show or something else. So that kind of makes more sense. Now, I would say even for the ones who stop posting content, even these people, they end up, pretty much dying in a certain way, because guess what? If you look at the comments for some of these videos, sometimes, not always, but sometimes you see comments like, "Oh my goodness, you aren't what you used to be anymore. I'm unsubscribing," and so forth. So it seems there is a bit of deterioration there. Now, one thing I don't agree with is this whole idea of, completely just doing it for, your passion and love. Now that's great and all, but that doesn't really make sense when you can't pay for the bills. You know what I'm saying? I remember asking this one content creator, like, can you give me advice? My videos aren't taking off. And then he went on this whole speech about how, like, you have to love what you do and you can't do it for the views and you have to create and so forth. But what if you love what you do and you want to make this into a career? Like, and I try to explain that to him, but he's just like, you can't do it. You can't do that. You have to love what you do. Well, I've been loving what I do, and I've been doing it for like however many years, and it's not really working out. So that's one thing. Now, again, I say this tongue-in-cheek in a way because arguably I don't necessarily want to necessarily be chained to YouTube. Like, in a way, I can kind of understand people who have, for whatever reason, taken a 4-month break or 2-month break or 1-year break. Some of them, they've just, they're not interested in YouTube anymore. Maybe they were at one point, now they are not. And arguably, or are there occasional ones that, like, they really lucked out in life and, they got there early, and maybe they're taking it a bit for granted, not realizing how easy they had it? Most likely. But at the end of the day, I think there's a ton of people now in a crowded YouTube space who are doing everything they can, hustling super hard, trying all this stuff. And so if, like, you slack, these people will come in. Hopefully, like, I hopefully don't want to get into a place where I don't enjoy making YouTube videos, or, I'm chained to YouTube and I have to make a video and I don't enjoy it. A lot of YouTube creators, they love what they do, so they don't mind it. But, I've definitely heard of a few top ones, like Kasim G. He mentioned in one of his interviews that like he was a little sick of this, like, you know, he called it feeding the ever hungry machine, where like you have to be consistent, but like what if you just want to take a break for a few months? You can't, because that's your income, and then like you have to keep feeding the machine and so forth. You know, arguably, if you're a small channel, you do have a lot of lenience that really can't be taken for granted. You do have that freedom of just like doing whatever, because no one's watching your videos anyways. You can make any video you want. You can stop making videos, and there's no pressure. Otherwise, there's a huge pressure, and then you get comments like, "Where have you been? Where have you gone to?" And that's cool too. Like some people, like they manage to do it. Like they just like stop making videos for like half a year, and they come back whenever they want. And I guess like some of them, maybe, I don't know if any actually do, but some of them manage to make some type of living off of that. It's weird how that works in reality, and I guess, you know, it's a strange thing. I do think consistency is huge, but then there is that like weird ball and chain, chicken and egg thing with like the like if you're passionate about it or you're not. You know, ideally, if you love it anyways, it doesn't matter. But it is one of those weird things. I do know, like, there's definitely YouTubers out there who have millions of subscribers, and they are deathly scared of missing a single day of uploading. And some of them are making more money than they'll ever need for the rest of their lives, but they're just scared of disappointing the community, or like the algorithm changing or something. Like Jacksepticeye, he has like 7 or 8 million subscribers, and he's mentioned a few times how he's deathly scared of missing a single day of upload. He uploads twice a day, very well edited gameplay videos with thumbnails and titling and all sorts of stuff. You know, ideally, that's not the best thing to do. You know, I would say for a lot of small YouTube content creators, they don't even know, they don't even understand the importance of consistency. So they're just like doing their own thing. They're like, sometimes they'll like post like 5 videos in a day and then go on a 2-month break. So, you know, arguably they're shooting themselves in the foot in terms of actually succeeding by doing that. And some of them do get a decent amount of traction. Like some will get 10,000 or 20,000 subscribers. But it's interesting how the YouTube world works. And I think generally speaking, like in the long run, things tend to even out. So, you know, if you lose your passion in it and you take a 3-month or 5-month break, like that's like you're not gonna hurt your YouTube channel. So it's an interesting dynamic, and honestly, you know, it's made me realize like I don't honestly mind it. I don't mind the fact that I have a certain level of freedom with my YouTube channel. Like I'm not big at all. Currently, as of this recording, I get like on average 20 views per video, even if I put extensive amounts of time and energy into creating them. So, you know, arguably that's underwhelming and disappointing in certain ways, but at the same time, I don't really have to cater to anyone. I have that freedom of just like not making videos if I want to, and that's huge as well. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Food for thought. Food for thought. Thanks for watching.